So today I'm putting together a quick build. So what I'm gonna do is bring this tank back to life. I have some fish that I need to put in here, and I will clean this thing up, find some plants for it, and it will also help me have a place to grow foreground plants for whenever I need to add some to my bigger aquarium. So we're gonna get started and make this thing look good. All right, so step one will be to show you what's in here. So there is a TIE fighter, some rocks, and lastly, a bunch of dirt and gravel that I don't think I'll be needing anymore. Just a bit left in there. All right, so I've got a spray tool here. Make everything a lot easier. All right, that's a bit better, but I'm gonna rinse it and then I'll come back to it. All right, so I'm gonna use this stuff right here, Large Picker's Friend, and this is non-toxic, so this should help me get all of these stains out without leaving any residue that'll harm the fish. So. Right, all good. All right, so there it is. I think it looks a lot cleaner. So now that it's all nice and clean, what I'm gonna do is add some old aqua soil from a different tank. All right, and next thing I'm gonna do is add some of this sand right here. All right, so the tank is looking a lot better. It's now set up and ready for some plants. I don't have any, so I'm gonna go to Petco and see if they have any good foreground plants or any carpeting plants that I can buy. But anyways, I'll show you what I find and hopefully we can get something good. All right, so here is the plant section. We don't have the most options. I mean, we have mid-ground plants, background plants. There are some foreground plants, some kind of moss here, but it's not looking too green. I don't recognize all these plants, but I did choose a few of these that I think might work. This one mostly because it's super green. And then I'm gonna give this one a shot. It says foreground. I think all of this should do. All right, so here is everything I bought, starting with some Java ferns at 50% off, and some more of that, just a little smaller. This plant right here, which is kind of leafy. This was called Anubias congensis. For some of the mid-ground and foreground plants, I bought this, Lobelia cardinalis. Now this I got for a discount because it doesn't look all that good, but we're gonna try anyway. This is a Cryptocorinne Piketty. And then lastly, this also, I got a 50% discount just because it seems a little bit brown. This is a Hygrophila lancea. I think these are looking good. These are probably the best. These are the ones right here though, look like they're gonna be a challenge. Some of these are in great shape, some of them not so much. Kind of like this little tiny plant. This one's a little bit bigger, but you can see they have a bit of brown spots. But we'll see how they do. I mean, this one is probably one of the better ones. I think it'll do great. I also am not sure if you're supposed to mix Anubias and ferns, but you know, we'll give it a shot. Maybe this one can go in the middle, kind of give it the most room, and then surround it with the Java ferns, and then the foreground can be a little smaller plant. So I think I need to put some water in here and then I can get started on planting. Alright, so let's get started on planting, and for that I'll use these little tools right here. Alright, so it is the next day after I initially set this up, and I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. Fortunately, the aqua soil that I used in here already was in the previous tank that the fish were in, so this should already be cycled. Now all I need is to light it up, and I'll be using one of these lights from IKEA, which I don't have a lid for it, so I think what I'll do right now is just put it right there. Maybe move this tank closer, but I'll also look for a different home for it in this shelf. But yeah, let's add the fish in here and it should be ready to go. Here we go. Yeah, these brought in quite a bit of a mess. There we go. All right, so the sparkling gouramis are all in there now. There's 5 of them. And I do think this tank is a little bit too small. This is just a temporary tank for them to be in for a week. And then I'll get these moved out into a bigger tank and I'll move in some shrimp. Usually I have blue dream shrimp, but maybe I'll try a different color. But right now these guys should settle in here and be just fine for a few days. But give them some food. This food that I've been trying out right here, I'll give them some food, see if they're hungry, and just help them get settled in a little bit. Yeah, these guys have never been in sand before. Usually it's aqua soil. So I'm curious how they'll interact with it, or if they'll move it around a lot. So far, just a little bit, but I think they're just getting used to this new tank right now. All right, so after a few hours of just looking at the tank, I've noticed that, they just want to hide around. And I know they're getting comfortable with the tank, but I do want to just add in some of these rocks, just to, give them some hiding spots, and just make the kind of the bottom of the tank a bit more enjoyable for them. As best as I can say, but I'm gonna throw these in here and see how we can fit them to see if they like it a bit more. Hopefully that gives them a bit more of a, enjoyable place, just for them to hide around. And already they're kind of settling in between the blocks and everything, so I'll show you a close-up. Alright, that's it for this video. If you need any of the stuff I use for this tank, I will link it in the description of the video. And really, I just hope these plants do well so I can use them again in the future. But thanks for watching.